When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units. Celebrate the class of 2023 with the NCW Life Channel. Join us Wednesday, June 14th for Westside High School's commencement exercises live from Westside High at 7 p.m. Coverage is brought to you by Apple Valley Honda, Confluence Health, JDSA Law, Merry Maids, and Mini Blinds and more. Celebrate the And we are back. It is the 14th day of June, 2023. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Batteries not included. I'm Dan Kuntz, and according to my calendar, and it's usually accurate, it is Wednesday. Yes, the theme to Winnie Wednesday, as sung by Grammy Award-winning artist Taylor Swift. Cost me a lot of money to have that baby done. Yeah, Winnie Wednesday is back, and back once again for like the 20th year. I've lost track. The Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival at the Fairgrounds in Cashmere, going to take over the whole damn joint. They'll be picking and grinning all weekend long. It is Friday, it is Saturday, it is Sunday. And courtesy of my good friends Marie and Chuck from the folks who put it on, I have not one, not two, not three, but 4 one-day passes to get in. This is a good deal. This is a really good deal. So 4 free one-day passes for entry into the Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival. You can use them Thursday, you can use them Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You can put 2 aside and go one day and then go another, or you can put 3 aside and I don't know, you can do whatever the hell you want to do with them. I don't care. But you got to win them first. Winner at ncwlife.com, winner at ncwlife.com. You email me, and that's how you enter this contest. It's via email. Everybody has an email address. Winner at ncwlife.com. Send in your emails. You know the rules by now. Employees of Local Telecommunications, solely on broadcasting, and their media families are not eligible. Sorry, Grant. Also, if you don't enter, you can't win. You're automatically out of the contest if you choose not to enter the contest. That eliminates your ability to win the contest. And you can only enter one time per email address. You can't enter continuously on the same email address. We keep track of these things. I'll give them away a little bit later on, do the drawing a little bit later on. 4 one-day passes to the Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival. It is one hell of a party at the Fairgrounds in Cashmere. It is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I will be talking to our good friend Chuck Egner. Love that Chuckster. That'll be on tomorrow's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. 57 degrees, windy, wind out of the west-northwest at 17 miles an hour. Really windy down in Ellisburg. It's blowing at 30 miles an hour down there with gusts above 40. We had quite a bit of wind yesterday afternoon into the early evening hours. It's still windy today, but that low pressure system has already began the process of exiting the area. Very fast moving. We had that fire that broke out up near the border of Chelan and Okanagan County. That's now in mop-up stage. Everything is back to normal there. But this is a good thing because if we have wind, we want it in the morning hours when it's cool and the relative humidity is at its highest. So hopefully we'll get through this day without any wildfires. Knock on very expensive wood. Forecast details are coming up. We'll have news. A busy day in the bullpen yesterday. Mariners win. Apple Sox win. We love that. Speaking of the Apple Sox, in the back half of the program, and we'll be doing this throughout the course of the Apple Sox season, we'll check in with our friend Stormin Joel Norman, the broadcasting voice of the Apple Sox, and he brought a friend along with him. The pitching coach, Mike Calley, will be joining us, and who's kidding who? The pitchers have really shown so far this year. Apple Sox playing good baseball. So are the Mariners finally. They're back above 500. So we got a lot to get to. Let's go ahead and start our process of our tour around the Wenatchee Valley. Uriah tells me when we were getting the cameras together about 5 minutes ago, this is the Wenatchee Heights camera. I'm taking his word for it. Is it me or does the Columbia River look especially blue this morning. You remember about a month ago when it was really running fast and high and cold? You remember how brown it was with all the sediment? That's pretty much washed away, I think. And by the way, they're going to start tackling that mosquito problem where the Wenatchee River meets the Columbia. They've been voracious there. But the PUD is going to be hopping on that. We'll have that when we get to news. Good morning to the Valley. Good morning to Lake Chelan from our Manson Water Tower camera. Haven't used that in quite some time. You can see Wapato Point sticking out there. And our friends at Manson. Hi, Manson. And the Manson Water Tower. An idyllic blue there. Lake Chelan, and not a cloud to be had in the sky. That camera isn't moving much at all. Usually the cameras are designed to do a little giving and swaying in the wind, but that sucker isn't moving at all. And I don't see any of the trees moving much. Let's see what's going on in Leavenworth. Well, it looks something like that. And again, just a little bit of tree movement that I'm seeing at the very tip top of the Tumwater Canyon camera that's looking down over Leavenworth. I have no idea how the Sky-Fi folks physically get to that camera. It must be quite the adventure there. Good morning to Leavenworth. We do have one camera that's blowing around pretty good. That's up Greens Knob Way. That's high up Lake Chelan. Look at that baby moving. Yeah, you can see the Stehekin way off in the background. Greens Knob is the tower that has, that's farthest up the south shore of Lake Chelan, or north shore of Lake Chelan, I should say. But there are towers farther up, but that one actually has a camera on it, and I'm getting seasick just by looking at it. All right, let's knock off that stuff. From the National Weather Service, again, a lot cooler today. We hit 87 yesterday. We'll be 15 degrees cooler than that. Still going to be breezy for a great deal of the day today, but the high pressure is going to start moving in on Thursday, going to warm us up a little bit with the winds dying down. We'll get up to 81 degrees. By the way, our highest wind yesterday at Pangbourne was measured at 41 miles an hour. We did have a gust at 50 miles an hour. That happened at about 6:45 yesterday afternoon. So sunny and windy today with a high of 72. Still windy tonight, but not too bad. It will be decreasing overnight tonight, and then it's just going to be breezy on Thursday as opposed to windy today. Friday, all the way up to about 84, give or take a couple with very little wind, just a little bit here and there. And then we cool down a little bit on Saturday, and especially Father's Day. Sunday, it's going to be quite chilly with our normal high about 77. We'll be almost 10 degrees below that. Lots of sunshine, but a little on the cool side for Father's Day, and we'll stay below normal with slightly unsettled weather on Monday and Tuesday. There you go. Still not summer yet. 6 minutes after the hour, grab a cup of coffee and come right back. The news is in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
I chose a career at Confluence South because I wanted to help people, and I knew there would be opportunities for growth. I started as a medical assistant, but quickly advanced in my career. I received 5 promotions in only 7 years, 3 of those in management roles. Most organizations don't offer that type of growth. Now, as a career pathway coordinator, I let everyone know. Come join Confluence South. Come grow with us.
It's Click It RV's lowest price guarantee sale going on now at your neighborhood Click It RV.
Be a winner like me and get to Click It RV.
With 0 down and no payments till September, now is the time to own your dream RV.
Get to Click It RV now. Are you going to be mad, bro?
Get never before deep discounts on trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, and motorhomes. Plus the best selection, highest trade-in values ever, and a lifetime warranty. Nobody beats the discounts at Click It RV.
I'm Richard Sherman, and we guarantee it.
On Frontage Road.
Summertime, summertime at Collins Fashions. Sundresses, tees, capris, skirts, shorts, tennis shoes, sandals, etc., etc. Special occasion dresses have arrived, and special orders are welcome at Collins. Gorgeous new designs from Brighton in handbags, jewelry, and sandals. French candy jewelry is gorgeous, and you can design your own pieces with medallions, pearls, gold, silver, Austrian crystals. Spectacular service just for you at Collins Fashions in downtown Wenatchee.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house, fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
57 degrees, a little windy here in the big city. Will be about 72 for the afternoon high with windy conditions most of the day. They'll begin decreasing tonight. It'll calm down quite a bit, warm up a little bit for the weekend, and then we go right back down again temperature-wise by Father's Day. It's 9 minutes after the hour. A Grant County man who shot and killed a coworker and tried to kill another coworker back in 2015 has failed to overturn his conviction on the basis of insanity. 38-year-old Eduardo Ibarra Valencia opened fire at his workplace, Callahan Manufacturing. When he did that, he killed Joel Rodriguez. Now, psychologists said Ibarra suffered from paranoia and a delusional disorder, but Grant County Judge Tyson Hill ruled that Ibarra was able to tell right from wrong at the time of the shooting, and he was sentenced to 45 years in prison. Well, yesterday, the Washington Court of Appeals upheld Hill's ruling and said that the sentence will stand. Ibarra remains imprisoned at the Washington State Penitentiary in Walla Walla. Police say a man, a suspected gunman, first drove away, then ran away, and then swam away after firing gunshots during an altercation on Monday. Authorities say 30-year-old Byron Guy Combs was in a domestic dispute with a woman in the 800 block of Loop Drive, and a contracting crew working nearby tried to intervene. Combs allegedly pulled a gun and threatened the workers, but another member of the group, who was behind the wheel of a pickup, used his truck to ram Combs' vehicle. Combs allegedly fired 7 shots at the vehicle, then he drove away. When Combs' car broke down on Ridge Road, police say Combs fled on foot through the Knowles Vista neighborhood and then ran to North Shore Drive, where he attempted to swim Moses Lake to avoid being captured. He surrendered when police boats closed in on him at the fountain near Alders Street. Authorities say the firearm used in the incident, well, they can't find it. Grant County prosecutors filed charges against Combs on Tuesday. Those charges include attempted murder. He's previously served time in prison for a 2012 conviction of robbery and kidnapping. Those pesky mosquitoes are finally going to get the 86, courtesy of the Chelan County PUD. The crews will be applying pellets and larvicide to control mosquitoes in and around the areas of Confluence Park in the Horan Natural Area. The PUD said that they wait to treat the area until the spring runoff recedes or the high water flows would sweep away the pellets, and that would make the treatment ineffective. The treatment begins at 8 a.m. on Friday. The pellets, by the way, are safe for both humans and animals. The PUD is encouraging park visitors to take precautions to prevent mosquito bites or look to other recreational opportunities until the skeeters go away. U.S. Forest Service has to examine whether to close grazing allotments for domestic sheep in the Okanagan and Wenatchee National Forest. That's the upshot of a settlement reached with wildlife conservation groups who sued the Forest Service in federal court to protect wild bighorn sheep. Bacterial pneumonia that spreads from domestic herds has sickened wild herds like the Quillamine, which ranges from Malaga to Ellensburg. The plaintiffs argued that the Forest Service continued to authorize domestic sheep grazing on allotments near bighorn herds despite knowing of the threat as far back as 2010. Now, to settle the case, the agency agreed to complete a long overdue environmental review, which could help decide whether to end that practice. Speaking of wildlife, the recovery of gray wolves in eastern Washington has worked out so well, the state of Colorado may ask to borrow a couple of wolves. Colorado approved wolf reintroduction in a voter referendum 3 years ago. In mid-May, the state's chief of the Parks and Wildlife wrote a letter to the Washington Fish and Wildlife Director, Kelly Susswind, asking to explore the possibility of donating wolves to establish a population in Colorado. Washington has wolves to spare. There are 29 known packs ranging east of the Cascades. The State Fish and Wildlife Commission is set to discuss the Colorado request at their meeting June 22nd in Seattle. And Relay for Life is back at Wildcat Stadium in East Wenatchee this weekend. The event is a walking fundraiser for the American Cancer Society. It honors and remembers loved ones who have been affected by cancer. The event will kick off with a lap by cancer survivors after the opening ceremony. After sundown, relayers will remember those that they lost in a ceremony. So far, the Chelan Douglas Relay has raised about $23,000. Their goal is $35,000. The Relay for Life, 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock on Friday, June 16th, and you can still sign up or donate. Just go to the Relay for Life website. That's the news at 14 minutes after the hour. And once again, the crew will be gathering in the newsroom to gather the news, write the news, disseminate the news, and then at 5, 6, and 10, you can watch the news, because that's what we do around here. Watch the news on television, or as we like to say in the business, TV. Or you can watch it on the World Wide Web, which is a pretty cool thing. We'll have our newscast up and running on our YouTube page, our Facebook page, and our homepage right around 5 o'clock. And don't forget, tonight at 7 o'clock, the Westside High School commencement exercises will be televised live right here on this very TV station, or as we like to say in the business, television. When we come back, Mariners win, Apple Sox win. Everybody's a winner. It's Winning Wednesday. What the hey? Sports is 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Hey, welcome back to Save Mart. What can we help you find today?
We're looking for a mattress.
Oh, right this way. We got a large selection. We have this pillow top here.
Comfortable.
We have more to choose from down here. I think I have the perfect one over here for you.
I guess we'll take this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
The newest generation of GMC Sierra pickups offer the most advanced technology, the strongest selection of powertrain, and everything else you need to work hard, play hard, and explore the boundaries of the Wenatchee Valley and beyond. Take a look at the latest, most luxurious and durable trucks on the market.
You will see why GMC is not your grandfather's pickup.
You want to bet, kid?
Are you hungry enough to eat the end out of a rhinoceros? I know how you feel. Come on out to Blueberry Hills. You'll have a great time. We've got excellent food, a feet on the furniture kind of experience, and we won't hustle you out of your table. If you want a real farm experience, make the trek to Manson to Blueberry Hills, where you sit, you pick, you eat, and you visit. So come on out and see what all the fuss is about. Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's where the world is coming to.
The Clearwater Saloon and Casino has the best Vegas-style games in East Wenatchee. Come enjoy yourself and discover the nightly action. Win big and meet new friends at the Clearwater Saloon and Casino.
"17 minutes after the hour, the Mariners have turned to the long ball to win games, and by golly, it's working. They hit 3 home runs last night, beat Miami again, another blowout. 9-3, Mike Ford went deep twice. Cal Raleigh broke an 0-for-25 streak with a home run, Seattle securing this series win over the Marlins. George Kirby carried a no-hitter into the 5th and struck out 10 for the win.
Got to see him get going. And speaking of get going, how about Cal Raleigh? It has been a major, major scuffle lately.
To right field, driven back. Cal Raleigh crunches this out of here. It's a 3-run home run.
Right on time. I mean, you no sooner put a period at the end of that sentence, and there it goes. Power the stash, power the goatee. How about Cal? That breaks an 0-for-21 over his last 6 games. Mike with a home run on Sunday in Anaheim, and a homer Friday in Anaheim as well. Count for him here, 2-1. High fly ball, deep right center field. Looking up. There it goes. Mike Ford with his 3rd home run in the last few days. It's a 2-run shot, and the Mariners have a 5-0 lead here on Miami in the 4th inning here at T-Mobile Park.
Kirby has been about as good as ever tonight. He has touched 99 miles an hour a couple of times. Been very fastball heavy like usual. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Chasing a fastball off the plate. Congratulations, George Kirby. Career strikeout number 200 in his young big league career, and plenty more where that came from.
It just keeps on rolling. 13 up, 13 down.
Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Here comes Hampson around 3rd. RBI single for Jorge Soler, and the Marlins are on the board. It's 5-1.
Bloop job that works. Sets up very nicely for Mr. Caballero.
Ground ball, and it's a fair ball. This will do some damage. Gino's coming home. Cal Raleigh lumbers. Speaking of lumbering, here comes Mike Ford. Stomping to the plate. It's a bases clearing triple for Jose Caballero. And he has blown it open in the 6th inning.
First big league triple, nicely done by Caballero, clearing the bases.
Cooper fly ball right field. This one's got a chance, and it is going to go. A 2-run homer for Garrett Cooper. And it's 8-3 here in the 8th.
Little 0-2 fastball up and away.
Mike Ford, 3 home runs last 5 days. A.T. Sergua, here's a drive deep to right. Ford has a better idea tonight, huh? 9-3 Mariners. Mike Ford, 2nd home run tonight. Wow! Mike Ford has got the stroke working.
It's just his 2nd career multi-homer game. They've both come in this ballpark. One as a member of the Yankees back in 2019. Mariners have dropped him down to 384 now. Here's a ground ball, a little flip on the first, and a double play puts a bow on a really nice Mariners win.
Nice Mariner win. They're finally back to the 500 mark again. That's where they've been stuck at for a great deal of the year. They'll go for the sweep tonight, 6:40. You can watch the game on Root Sports Northwest or not. It's a semi-free country. All right, to the Les Schwab American League West scoreboard. Hunter Renfroe's 2-run home run at the top of the 6th gave L.A. the lead. Zach Nito's solo shot of the 9th added a little insurance. The Angels beat the Rangers 7-3. L.A., by the way, has won 8 of 9. Houston launched 4 home runs out of Minute Maid Park in a 6-1 win over the Nationals. Rookie pitcher Hunter Brown improved to 6-3. He went 7 innings, a 4-hit shutout ball. And Oakland may have the worst record in baseball, but they're playing the best baseball right now. They've won 7 in a row. A 2-1 come-from-behind victory over Tampa Bay last night. The A's also had their largest home crowd of the season. Fans protesting Oakland's move to Las Vegas with a sit-in on Tuesday. Official attendance, 27,759. The Wenatchee Apple Sox win for the 4th straight time. They knocked off the Springfield Drifters 4-2 down there in beautiful Oregon. It was a Lower Columbia connection that keyed Wenatchee's come-from-behind win. Easton Admonson did it at the plate. His teammate Jaden Williamson did it on the mound. More with the voice of the Apple Sox, Stormin' Joel Norman.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox opened up their series against the Springfield Drifters with a 4-2 victory on Tuesday night at the Hamlin Sports Complex. Brandon Ponce hit a 2-run homer, and Easton Amundsen extended his hitting streak to 7 games with a go-ahead RBI triple in the 8th inning. He would also score shortly after that to help the Apple Sox get a 4-2 win. Quincy Vassar went 5 innings on the bump. He only allowed 2 runs, but then Jaden Williamson went the final 4 innings and got the job done for Wenatchee, going 4 scoreless and sealing up the series opening victory. Wenatchee improves to 8-2 on the season and sits 1 game out of first place in the North Division. With your Apple Sox update, I'm Joel Norman.
Thank you, Joel. It was the first home run of the season, by the way, for Ponce. It was the first triple of the season for Admonson, game 2 of 3. Tonight at 6:35, you can hear Joel with the call locally on Sunny FM. Wenatchee continues to trail Bellingham in the West Coast League's North Division. The Bells knocked off Kelowna 9-1 last night. Ty Saunders led the way offensively. He went 2 for 3 with a couple of runs and a couple of RBIs. Jack Erdman and 3 relievers combined on a 3-hitter. A.J. Singer was 3 for 5 with a run and 4 RBIs. Cowlitz beats Walla Walla 10-0. A bases-loaded fielding error in right field allowed 3 runs to score in a 4-run 5th inning for Nanaimo. The Night Owls beat Yakima Valley 9-7. Ethan Riviera had 3 hits for Nanaimo with 2 runs and 2 RBIs. Marco Piccocello's RBI base hit in the top of the 10th was the game winner for Victoria. They beat Port Angeles 4-3. Jacob Potarnak's RBI base hit in the bottom of the 7th broke a 1-all tie. Edmonton went on for the 4-1 win over Kamloops. Halen Knoll striking out 8 over 8 innings with a win. Cameron Dayton 2 for 4 drove in 3 runs for Portland. The Pickles popped Ridgefield 11-1, and Jake Hoskins' RBI double in the bottom of the 9th gave Bend a 4-3 walk-off win in a non-league game over the Northwest Star Academy. So the divisions, the standings look something like this. The Bells top the standings. They're 9-1, 1 game in front of 8-2 Wenatchee. Victoria half game back of the Apple Sox at 8-3. Kelowna's 3 games back at 6-4. As far as the South is concerned, Springfield and Portland are tied at 7-3. Corvallis is in the unusual position of not being in first place. They're 6-3, and there's a group of 4 teams with 4 wins of the season, all within 3 games of first place. Those are just some of the games that people are playing on this Wednesday, the 14th day of June. Of course, it is Flag Day. We'll get to that in just a little bit, so that's not really an obscure holiday. It's also World Blood Donor Day, International Bath Day, National Strawberry Shortcake Day, National Pop Goes the Weasel Day. But today, we celebrate National Bourbon Day today. But not now. I'm working. Nobody knows how bourbon got its name. There is a Bourbon County in Kentucky, but a lot of experts say that the name Bourbon came off of Bourbon Street in beautiful New Orleans. Bourbon can be made anywhere in the U.S., but it has to be made in the U.S. for it to be called bourbon. 95% of the world's supply of bourbon is made in Kentucky. They distill a lot of bourbon in Kentucky. There are some rules for bourbon. It must be made of a grain mixture that's at least 51% corn. It can be more than that, but it has to be at least 51% corn. Bourbon has to be aged in charred oak barrels that have never been used before. They must be new. It can't be more than 160 proof. That's 80% alcohol. Yeah. It has to be bottled at 40% or higher. So you can't age it more than 80%, but it has to be 40% or higher when it actually goes into the bottle. None for me. I'm working. I once had a double Kentucky Mule, and it kicked me in the head. I can tell you that much. Happy National Bourbon Day today. Today in history, 26 minutes after the hour, speaking of birthdays, happy birthday to the Army. The United States Armed Forces, because the Continental Army was founded on this date in 1775. It's older than the nation itself. June 14th, the Continental Congress got together and says, so we have these militias, but they're controlled by local states, and then we even have private militias that are interested in fighting the British, but we need to consolidate all of these things and have some sort of a national Continental Army if we're really going to win this damn thing. And so they did. They established, the Continental Congress said, let's do it. And they signed off on a Continental Army, consider the birth of the United States Army, June 14th, 1775. The day after, June 15th, 1775, they figured out, okay, who's going to be in charge? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch ya. George is it. George Washington got the gig the next day. George says, I'll do it. And you don't even have to pay. Continental Congress said George will pay you $500 a month to be in charge, to be the general in charge of the Army. He goes, you don't have to pay me, just pay my expenses. And they said, that's fine with us. George was a smart dude. If he'd taken his $500 a month salary as the general of the Continental Army during the 8 years of the Revolutionary War, he would have made about $48,000. Instead, with the Continental Congress just agreeing to pay his expenses, his expense account when the whole thing was over was $447,220. Smart move, George. Of course, the vast majority of the Continental Army was disbanded after the Treaty of Paris was signed. In 1783, they put down their guns and picked up their plowshares and went home. And then about 10 years later, they said, maybe we should have a permanent army. Hello, Bob, can you come back to work? Happy birthday to the Continental Army, the United States Army, if you will. Speaking of the Continental Congress, we talked about that. 2 years after they said, let's have an army, they said, now let's have a flag. The Second Continental Congress, meeting on this date in 1777, adapted the Flag Act, which means that would be the flag of the United States of America. That is the flag as adopted on this date in 1777, which is why it is Flag Day. It was designed by Francis Hopkinson, and that flag was used as our nation's flag from this date in 1777 to May 1st, 1795. And in the state of Pennsylvania, and only in the state of Pennsylvania, is Flag Day a state holiday. There's no school in Pennsylvania. Well, there's no school anyway. School's out, but it's a state holiday in Pennsylvania, Flag Day is. And finally, one of the dumbest wars in modern times. There's been a lot of stupid wars. There's been a lot of tragic wars, but this was just plain dumb. The Falkland Islands War between Argentina, who claimed it, and Britain, who had it, came to an end after a few months when Argentina surrendered to the British. The Falkland Islands is a group of small islands in the South Pacific. It's windswept. It has about 3,000 people who live there year-round, has about 7,000 sheep, and about 70,000 tons of sheep poop. And that's about it. It's a completely worthless hunk of real estate, and they went to war over it. When Argentina in 1982 said, we think it's ours, we want to claim it back, and they went to war, Great Britain should have just said, take it. It has no strategic value whatsoever, but no, Great Britain said, it's ours, my toy. I think it was one commentator who said the Falkland Islands was the equivalent of two bald men fighting over who gets to own a comb. Came to an end on this date in 1982. Asinine war. It's the bottom of the hour. Heavenly birthday, Burl Ives. I met Burl Ives. I met him in a coffee shop in Anacortes in the late 80s. Sat, we just went in there for breakfast, and I looked over in the corner and reading the newspaper, drinking his coffee, eating an omelet, and I said, damn, that looks like Burl Ives. And I went over there and introduced myself, and it was Burl Ives. Nice guy. A little bitty till let me down. The great Burl Ives, the folk singer, born in this state in 1909. We lost Burl in 1995. At the age of 85, the 45th president of the United States, we always do presidents, Donald John Trump, is 77 years old today. The only president to have been divorced twice, the only president to have been impeached twice, and now the only president to be indicted twice. Donald Trump is 77 years old today. And the late, great Pat Summitt was born on this date in 1952. She would have been 71 years old today. Died of Alzheimer's at the age of 64. Won 6 national championships with the Lady Volunteers from Tennessee. She was the head coach for 38 years, never had a losing season, and never missed the NCAA Women's Tournament. One of the greatest coaches of any sport ever, Pat Summitt. 31 minutes after the hour. Still to come, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. Did I load one, Uriah? Good. I forgot yesterday. We had to scramble to find one. These things happen. And my conversation talking Apple Sox baseball, we'll be doing it all summer long with Joel Norman, and the pitching coach, Mike Calley, joined us. And don't forget, it's Winning Wednesday. And I got 4 one-day passes. You can use them Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. One lucky winner is going to get 4 one-day passes to the Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at the fairgrounds in Kashmir. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. Mike McNaughty is next. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
The Lake Chelan Rotary Club invites you to experience Cycle Chelan, held June 24th, 2023. Pick your thrill from 4 rides: the Metric Century Challenge, Cycle Divino, the Lake Loop, or the Butte Blast. All profits from Cycle Chelan are used to support student scholarships and other charitable activities of the Lake Chelan Rotary Club. Cycle Chelan 2023, a route for every rider. Pick your thrill today.
It's barbecue chicken pizza season. That means break out the patio furniture, dust off those jorts, pick up an Abby's Pizza, and head to your favorite outdoor spot. I mean, hey, the great outdoors isn't going to enjoy itself, right? Blue skies and pizza go together like, well, barbecue chicken and pizza. That's why it's time to enjoy an Abby's Original Barbecue Chicken Pizza at a very special price. Abby's, a legendary pizza tradition.
Water is essential to living. From clean drinking water for good health to clean water for your pool or spa. Central Washington Water, your water experts. With whole home water filtration systems for your home's best water. Products and supplies to keep your pool and spa water crystal clear to a full parts department. Count on Central Washington Water for expert help. Shop screen to screen. Come in or call about a backyard consultation. Central Washington Water, your water care professionals.
The family at the Eplodolin want to help your loved one feel at ease in their new home environment. Eplodolin offers beautiful one-bedroom and studio apartments. Residents enjoy 3 delicious home-style meals a day, laundry service, housekeeping service, and encouragement to make themselves cozy in their new home. Eplodolin welcomes your family to come and visit their family. Eplodolin, independent and assisted living. They make the complicated easy for you. Call today for a tour. Hi, everybody. Dan Kuntz alongside Jesse Coble from Alpine Air. There's ice on my heat pump and under my heat pump.
Well, ice under your heat pump is normal. When we go into a defrost cycle, it melts the frost off, creates water, which freezes to the ground. Ice around your heat pump is a thing that you should probably give us a call about.
Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air for heat and air. Call Alpine Air. Thanks, Jesse.
Thanks.
Hey, this is Mike, Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody is entitled to my opinion. Now, pizza, what a great food. Everybody, kids, old people, even liberals love pizza. I mean, succulent dough, rich spicy spaghetti gravy covered with mozzarella cheese. What could be better? But I got news for you. You don't put fruit on pizza. If you put pineapple on your food, call it a fruit cup a la mode, call it pineapple pie, call it any doggone friggin' you want to, but don't call it pizza. I mean, you don't just put tomato soup and American cheese on a piece of white bread and call it a taco, do you? No. So don't be an idiot. If it's got pineapple on it, it ain't pizza. Okay, that's settled. This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's not just my opinion, that's a fact.
Hi, my car's making a funny noise.
Not a problem. We'll take care of you.
Global Car Care's technicians are ASE Master Techs and well-versed in the more refined methods of vehicular diagnostics.
Number 3 piston and rings have a slight loss of compression, down to 108 pounds. Your transmission is slipping. You're gonna need a service.
Looks like you all set.
These guys? They're good.
Oh, and your spare is flat.
Global Car Care, Wenatchee's top shop.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the diagnostic doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
Are you caught in a conflict with a family member, in the workplace, or with a neighbor or business? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on topics like conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us at 509-888-0957 or www.wvdrc.org to learn more.
I had had a seizure in the middle of the night, and they rushed me to the hospital and decided to induce labor to try to get the baby out. The outpouring of love and support I got from Confluence Health. My coworkers coming to the ICU to be with me. For me, it's the work family. It's just incredible to have support no matter what I'm going through in my personal life, my own health.
Welcome back to the program. Throughout the course of the summertime, we'll be visiting every Monday here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium with the voice of the Apple Sox, Joel Norman, as we talk about Apple Sox baseball. Great start so far to the season. Stumbled out of the gate a little bit. We'll talk about that. But a really good weekend series as they took, well, Victoria was undefeated coming into Friday night's game, and they left not undefeated anymore. Storm and Joel Norman, the broadcasting voice of the Wenatchee Apple Sox, and introduce the coach to us, please.
Yeah, Mike Callie, our pitching coach, his first year at the helm joining us. Boy, he's done a great job so far. Our pitching staff is really clicking, I think, compared to a year ago. Our starters in the first 9 games of the season went at least 5 innings in each one of those. And Dan, that happened 16 times in 54 games last year. So Mike's already off and running, getting the right guys in, helping with recruiting. And we've had a really fun year on the mound. I think the bats are coming around. We saw in the Victoria series, they're kind of matching up where our pitching is at. And I think we've got all the makings of a special team here this summer.
They started out last Friday with some free baseball, went to 10 innings. But a nice walk-off victory. Probably a little too many more runs scored than you would like, Mike. But hey, a W is a W. Talk about Friday night's win.
Really, that was the first time this season I think our pitching staff had an off night. We'll call it that. And even then, there were still some huge performances in there. But, you know, a real fun walk-off victory. The Apple Sox battled that whole game. It was a 1-1 going to the 7th. Victoria scores 4 times. And you're thinking, boy, that's a gut punch. That's a really good team there. Maybe they got us here tonight. And the Apple Sox just refused to give up. Got 4 in the bottom half, 3 in the 8th inning. Did give up a 3 spot in the 9th. But again, they didn't let that phase them and then walked it off in the 10th. That was such an emotional victory, and I think that really was a tough one for the Harbor Cats to take. And they never really bounced back. Good team the next 2 days. The Apple Sox were better. Saturday, 15 walks drawn in that game, a season high. You're on the base paths. There's not a lot to hit. You're going to score some runs, and they got 13 that night. And then Sunday was all about the pitching, kind of getting back to the MO of this team early on. Cam Hoyland with 6 shutout innings, and then Jacob Dahlstrom, his first relief appearance, a 5-out save. So pretty fun way to spend that first weekend of the summer of Paul Thomas.
In fact, as we roll highlights of Sunday's victory, talk about Mr. Hoyland. He's not going to be with us very long because he's already pretty much at his limit before they have to shut him down. But gee, Coach, a big, strong left-hander who can throw strikes and eat up innings. That's like the trifecta in your world, isn't it?
Yeah, no, we're bummed. We're going to lose Cam here shortly, but he's been awesome. He's been a two-way player for us, and you know he's been able to eat innings and give us a boost on those Sundays when those games can come kind of rather quick, right? So we're bummed out, but we really appreciate what he's done for the start of our season so far. And
we need to probably explain to our viewers why you're looking at this big, strong guy. Why can't we have him all year? Well, there's a specific reason for that. This guy has a career in baseball if he so desires, and we need to take care of the package, don't you?
Yeah, no doubt. No, Cam Hoyland's headed to Cal Poly in the fall, and you know he threw a lot of innings at Bellevue College this spring, so he deserves some time off and to get the body right and head down to California and do all that. So we're just appreciative that he got us off to this start we have.
So as a pitching coach, talk about the fact that he's only going to be with us for maybe one more game, maybe 2, and then that's it. How does one keep your pitching acumen alive when you're not going to be playing competitive baseball until September? From a pitching coach perspective, what are you telling this guy before he leaves and heads back down south?
Yeah, the biggest thing, and I was always taught this way, is that you want to win everything you do, right? Whether that's in the weight room, whether that's pitching in the 9th inning down 2 runs, and you got guys on base and stuff like that. But so you want to win everything you do. So when you're going home, you want to win. Win when you're eating, win when you're in the weight room, when you're practicing, when you're throwing, stuff like that. Just kind of competing at all levels of your life and things like that, and that'll translate over the fall nicely. When Coach
Mitch Darlington brought you on board, did he just say, "Mike, the pitching staff is yours. Go out and recruit"? Did he just kind of turn over that entire part of the program to you for the most part?
It was rather. I don't want to say it was very quick. I think it was kind of pretty gradual. But as we started to learn each other and grow familiar with each other, we realized that we pretty much think along the same lines in a lot of different aspects, and we had a lot of similar contacts and things like that. So as I started shooting text messages over to him, phone calls over to him, he's like, "Man, maybe we think the exact same here." And then, and then the roster started to build, and we were happy where we're at.
What do you look for in a pitcher? Do you look for a guy who just can throw strikes at this level? Or is there more to it than that?
No, 100%. Strikes is a big thing. That's the most important pitch in the game, right? It's throwing strikes. But for me, I want to see somebody who's going to compete out on the mound. Okay, somebody who wants the baseball, whether we're up 10, down 10, or if it's tie ball game, right? So the competitive factor is huge for me. If you compete and throw strikes, we probably want you on the Apple Sox.
Do you, by default, also handle a lot of the catching, coaching duties? Because the battery is the key here, right?
Yeah, no, not necessarily, but a little bit here. Yeah, we've had, Cade Westerlin. He's been solid for us thus far, and he and I have been working a little bit here and there, and he's been awesome with his pitch calling and with our arms so far, and we're happy with how the catching's turned out so far too.
How do you scout a team that you know nothing about when somebody comes into town to play, either on 10-day contracts or going to be gone anyway? How do you just hope?
Yeah,
it's
tough.
Work?
Yeah, it's tough. We obviously have to play to our pitcher's strengths a lot of the time. But you know, it's also cool, and I think that's the cool thing about summer baseball is you get to look at what these guys did all spring long, and you can kind of look at some numbers here and there. And you know, for some guys who redshirted, you don't have so much knowledge, so you got to wait until that second at bat, and you make adjustments from there.
So we're gonna lose Cam. He's going to be heading down to I believe San Luis Obispo. Is that where Cal Poly is? Wow, I'm pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good.
But you still got a pretty good staff. I mean, are you early on in this year? Are you pretty happy with your pitching staff so far, all things considered?
Oh yeah, no, we've had you know, as Joel said, we had, you know, I think it's 8 consecutive starts of 5 innings or plus, and those are guys just wanting the baseball. We don't have guys that are just coming here to get innings and go home. No, these guys want to win. These guys want to compete. These guys want to be out here. So I'm really happy with where our pitching staff's at. I look forward to, you know, what we have down the pipe, and yeah, I'm excited to go.
How do you build a bullpen like this when you again, pitchers are coming and going? How do you figure out what everybody's role is?
Yeah, you kind of have to, you know, see as you go, right? And there's going to be times where we're throwing somebody in a one-run game, and that's going to be their first time all year long, you know. And I think that's the fun part, is giving guys that confidence and giving guys that boost. And you know, Jacob Dahlstrom did a great job for this last weekend out of the pen, and you know, Luke Myers has been great. Jaden Williamson, Joey Pearson, those guys have been great. Toby Hare, who's now in the starting rotation, those guys have all been great in the pen, and just giving the guys the ball and letting them go.
Any pitchers coming down the pike that haven't quite joined the roster yet that people should keep an eye on, that you're pretty excited to have them join the fold?
Yeah, I'm excited for, you know, there's a couple guys that just got in that haven't really thrown too much. I'm really excited for Griffin Allen. He'll be here in the next few weeks, you know, Grand Canyon and an Ohlone College guy. So big strike thrower who's competitive and wants the baseball. So I think that's what we preach here.
Joel, nice little weekend sweep of Victoria. Like I said, they came in undefeated. They're not undefeated anymore. This team is off to a very good start, all things considered. Coach Darlington's got to be pretty happy with the 7-2 record so far.
I think there's definitely things to tide you up, but for the most part, you're 7-2 through your first 9 games before the series with Springfield, and you're thinking, wow, this is good. But there was a lot to tide you up from the Springfield game, and I think some of that, it's something we alluded to before, is that, you know, there's certain players who start the season on your team who aren't there after those opening 9 games or so, and you kind of bring in more of the Division I players and more of the full season players. So I think the 10-day contracts did a great job. There's a reason why the Apple Sox are 7-2, but now you move on to more of the guys who are probably going to be more permanent fixtures, and you kind of build that foundation, and where the communication is going to be a little bit more in depth, I think, from everyone defensively, whether it's, we talked about the pitching and catching as well, but I think we're starting to see this team really come together at the right time, and this is one of the goals that we talked about for the team. Mitch has been saying it since day one. Let's win the first half in 2023 and then go from there. You know, you can control your path early on, and in this league, year to year, the league championship usually favors the teams who win the first half, and if we want to be in that conversation, we need to be capturing that title.
And it's still early in the season. Bellingham has an early lead, but there's a lot of baseball to be played. Overall, would you say the West Coast League's North Division may be a little bit stronger than the South right now at this point?
Well, it's hard to say. You know, the South Division was so talented last season. There were several teams, including the Bend Elks, who just really were debatable to be playoff teams. Maybe if you put them in the North Division, maybe they are. But it's hard to say. The North has got 3 really solid teams, and I think we knew coming into the year that Bellingham and Victoria were probably going to be the toughest teams for the Apple Sox to maybe deal with, that got in the way of maybe winning the first half or winning the second half. And so far, it's obviously lived up to that. The Bells can always pitch. Victoria does a little bit of everything right. Man, they steal bases like no other team in this league, that's for sure. They entered the week in their first 6 games with 27 steals. So that's a team who the Apple Sox did a good job containing them on the base paths and limiting the number of times they got that free extra 90 feet or so. So it's going to be interesting down the stretch. I'm excited for the next time we see Victoria, to see how they've evolved, see how we've evolved as well, and see if is it going to be as simple of a matchup as it was before, or is it going to be another real test in a sense? But I think the thing that's to look forward to on the schedule, in a sense, is that we get 6 games with Bellingham late in the season, all in the second half. Don't see them in the first half. Could be good, could be bad. Might want to play them a lot late, and that's going to be interesting, determining playoff spots later on.
Springfield yesterday, Springfield today, Springfield tomorrow, and then West Kelowna, I believe, comes to town
Yep,
this
Kelowna will
weekend.
be in town.
Yeah. What do you want to talk about with the Falcons there?
You know, that's an interesting team. We had a few up and down games with them last season. Bring back the same, I think, the same coaching staff, I believe, from last year. So well-coached group, and they do a lot of the chippy things well. I'll give them credit over the weekend. They got beat up by Portland pretty bad at home the one night. Came back and beat the Pickles the next day, and they swept the Nanaimo Night Owls before that. So early on, the Kelowna's kind of a sneaky team. So that's going to be an interesting test coming into the weekend. It's easy, especially at this age of players, to go into a weekend and you circle certain teams and maybe you put forth a certain effort against certain teams, but you have to be ready for those opponents who might surprise you. And you can't really look at one opponent as better than another, because that's usually when they'll get you and surprise you by maybe taking 2 or 3 or more.
Mike, do you consider yourself a caretaker to the pitching staff? Just make sure all the guys get back to their colleges in one piece. Don't mess with them too much. Is that kind of how you see your role?
Yeah, I think so for sure. I'm a resource to these guys. You know, I'm here. I have things that if they want to work on and they seek me out, then I'm more than willing to help. You know, the ultimate goal is that these guys go back to the fall in a better place they showed up here in, right? So, you know, we have things that are kind of non-negotiables that we're going to work on and stuff like that to help improve you and what your school has asked us to do, and we're going to do that. But you know, a lot of these guys are, you know, they're college baseball players. They know how to think for themselves a little bit, and they can use me if they want, and they go from there.
Do you does the occasional pitcher under your tutelage have that aha moment that wow, okay, thanks coach, I think I'm onto something here?
Yeah, I think there's kind of some early minor tweaks that we've kind of toyed with in some certain arms. You know, Quincy Vassar's one of them. I'm looking forward to you know, seeing how he progresses over the summer, and you know, he's been working hard in his catch play and in between starts and things like that. So I think there's some of that early aha for sure.
Does it help you personally? We talked about this with Coach Darlington. You're pretty close in age to some of these guys. Does that help from a communication standpoint? You're not locked in your ways either. You're not old school and old fogey kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, I'm a very standard and traditional, I think, pitching guy. I don't think I need to reinvent the wheel in any aspect, but being closer in age definitely helps. You know, I've been in these guys' shoes. I've done this. I've played in this league, and I've been in college before too. So just kind of from their aspect, knowing that I've been through it, and I kind of know I've been through it and all that good stuff, and I think it kind of helps them give me some credibility.
Baseball lifer, are you going to be in the game one way or the other until they shuffle you off to the great dugout in the sky?
100%.
That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. Joel, I'll let you take it home one more time. We're again the Drifters yesterday, the Drifters today in Springfield, and then the home series with West Kelowna. Easy for me to say. Just keep on keeping on. We're looking pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. You know, there's some, like we talked about, stuff to tidy up against the Drifters. I think the guys are getting more used to the infield here at Paul Thomas Senior Stadium. I think they're so used to, in a lot of ways, playing on that artificial turf, so it's an adjustment. The ball bounces a little different here, and we had some rain, of course, last week, so that affected things a little bit. But boy, by the end of the weekend, this past Sunday was the Apple Sox first game without an error this year, you know, and usually it takes about a month or so for Paul Thomas to become a home field advantage for the Apple Sox. They've kind of already turned it into one pretty early on here. So I think that bodes really well. And I'm excited to see what we can get in this series against the Drifters. It's a great ball club. I think they maybe surprise some people with how they've started the season. But when you look at the talent up and down that roster, it's really no surprise that they are where they are to begin this season and looking to make the postseason in their second year in the league.
So West Kelowna here Friday, Saturday. We'll have the game on Friday, by the way, Saturday. And then Father's Day, it's a matinee. It's a 1:05 start. Is that correct?
Yep, that's correct.
Which works out great for everybody because it gets the visiting team on the road for those long bus rides a little bit earlier. So having those 1 o'clock games, well, it seems to work. We won last Sunday at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, 1-0 on those this year. Looking to go 2-0, of course, this Sunday. And boy, Father's Day, such a great day to bring your dad out to a ball game. I mean, I'd love to be doing that if I was in the same spot of the country as my dad and if he was out here. But it's one of those things. I think it's a great family tradition. It was such a success last year, and we were so thrilled when Father's Day was on the home schedule this year when we got in November.
Coach, can you use a 58-year-old with a killer curveball?
Yeah, we could take as many arms as we need. You know what it takes. We know what it takes.
Cool.
There's a few non-league games coming up. You never know.
I'll throw underhand before I do that again. Go Apple Sox. Thanks, Joel. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate it, and we'll be right back.
Experience memories that will last forever on a Sun Chaser pontoon boat from Bob File Boats and Motors. If you're looking to get out fishing with your buddies or just enjoying time on the water with friends, a Sun Chaser pontoon boat is a great choice. Owning a Sun Chaser is more than just an incredible feeling of freedom and exhilaration. It's about taking that indulgence to the next level. See the full line of Sun Chaser pontoon boats at Bob File Boats and Motors on Sunset Highway in East Wenatchee or online at bobfile.com. D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee provides financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their futures. Whether it's helping construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, they start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. An individualized approach is rooted in the values, stability, and strength their company was founded on in 1935. With offices coast to coast and personal attention you deserve right here in the Wenatchee Valley, learn more about D.A. Davidson.
What's the best way to attract a wide variety of beautiful birds to your backyard? By offering the birds the right foods in expertly designed bird feeders from Wild Birds Unlimited. Whether you've been feeding the birds for a while or are just getting started, let our backyard bird feeding specialists show you how to add a little joy to your life and make nature a part of every day. Shop now for exclusive bird foods, feeders, hardware, and more. Wild Birds Unlimited. Products designed by experts. Trusted local advice.
Walkabout Grill, open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner in downtown Wenatchee and now downtown Leavenworth, where eating out is eating healthy.
All right, about 4 minutes left in this award-winning program. Have we won an award, Uriah? I don't think we have, actually. Got a little time. It's a little breezy, but not an unpleasant morning, to say the least. 61 degrees right now out of Pangbourne. The wind is pretty consistent, west-northwest wind at 23 miles an hour. It's not going to be as windy today as it was yesterday, but we have a little time. What do you say we take one more tour around north central Washington? Now, it's Uriah's choice. I did not coordinate this with Mr. Darby, and so he wants to visit Jump Off Ridge, and so we are visiting Jump Off Ridge. I don't see a cloud in the sky. It's a beautiful, beautiful morning. Good morning to Stemilt. Good morning to Malaga. And camera's moving around a little bit. Again, they're prone to do that when it gets windy from our Jump Off Ridge camera. And that is a spectacular view on television, but it doesn't really do it justice. If you look at it with your own two eyes from that location, it is really a stunning, stunning view. Camera 2, again, Darby's choice, and he wants to go see what's going on in the Arundel Rock camera, and by golly, we're doing exactly that. Hello, Lake Aniet. Hello, Mission Ridge off in the distance. There's Turtle Rock. Of course, it's called Turtle Rock because it's shaped like a giant rock. And it looks like it's a little choppy on Lake Aniet. A little windy. That'll do that as well. Let's go ahead and visit camera number 3. Again, Uriah gets to decide. That is, I want to say, Omi Garden. Yep, that's the Omi Garden camera. Now, that baby's moving quite a bit. We call it the Omi Garden camera. It's actually not in Omi Gardens. It's in a little outshoot about a quarter of a mile away from Omi Gardens, but it's still a spectacular view there from the Baker Flats Industrial Park. Rocky Reach Dam. Looks like they got a spill gate and a half opened on this Wednesday morning. And a nice view there. It's shaking a little bit there. And finally, our 4th camera. Ooh, the Navarre Coulee, our lower Navarre camera. We have 2 towers in the Navarre area. We call it Lower Navarre and Upper Navarre. We don't have a camera on the Upper Navarre one, but we do want to have on the Lower Navarre one. And by golly, there it is. That's the highway that takes you from 97A up to Lake Chelan, dumps you at the Lake Chelan area near the state park. Some nice views there this morning. It's Winning Wednesday. One more friendly reminder. I got them right here. 4 one-day passes. You can use them any day you want. You can use them Friday, Saturday, or Sunday for the Wenatchee River Bluegrass Festival, which, by the way, coincidentally, is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you haven't made plans yet. Here you go. You got 4 of them. The one winner gets 4 of these. and you can divvy them up any way you want. Even if you can't go, but you know somebody who wants to go, you can win them and give them to them too. It doesn't matter to us. You can do whatever you want to with them. Winner at ncwlife.com. Winner at ncwlife.com. Get in your email. Don't forget, employees of Solion Broadcasting, Local Telecommunications, and their immediate families are not eligible. Sorry, Jordan. And if you do not enter the contest, you cannot win the contest. You must enter in order to win. Common sense. And don't forget, tonight at 7 o'clock, we'll be broadcasting live the commencement exercises for West Side High School at their campus on Ninth Street. Proud to bring that to you, and that will commence our broadcasting of the commencement exercises for the various classes of 2023. From the National Weather Service, sunshine, a lot cooler today. We're only going to get up to about 72. We hit 87 on Tuesday, and it's still going to be windy. Not quite as windy as yesterday afternoon, but still pretty consistent wind most of the day today. It will decrease gradually overnight tonight. 53 for the overnight low. We'll call it breezy on Thursday, not really windy. We warm up a little bit more on Friday, and then we cool down slightly on Saturday, and kind of chilly for Father's Day. And that's it for us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.